not a surprising loss. A loss at the end, I went, that sucks. But like, but like, I came away with a few things I'm actually excited about for upcoming games. I think there's definitely some things that need to be fixed. Of course, there's always things that can be fixed. But overall, it was a game that I went, oh well. Like it did not gut me the way some of these losses had. Mike, what's your thoughts at the top of the dome?
No gutting. Uh, I felt fine with it. The last 5 minutes of the first half was probably the most frustrating.
Yeah,
For
I gave the game away, honestly.
yeah, I think that, and I don't know, we just seem to be. I wouldn't say stagnant. I mean, we were still scoring, obviously, but just obviously not enough. Um, just
the way Drew King put it. I always go to his instant reaction, or Gabe and Drew King. It's Gabe actually, but on Power Mizzou, I go and I steal their box score that they put up because it's a nice box score. And he said, "This is what it looks like when a team with pro players plays a team of good college players." Yeah. Really, there's something I wanted to check before I said it. Yep. The one thing that I will harp about from the jump before we kind of go into a more structured breakdown. Mike, how many fouls do you think Darius Acuff had? You think two?
Two.
Go for dose. He had one. The man had one foul. And oh, thank you. Look at what my daughter brought me. You want me to open it? That's okay. I will open it for you. Okay. There you go.
For audio listeners, there was a 16-ounce cup of brown.
No, it was her cup of small, colorful things she likes to shake and then open. So if we look at the box score, like plenty of our guys had good games, but Acuff with 20. I'm actually surprised. He only went 4 of 11, but he shot 13 free throws. The dude got breathed on, and they called a foul. 2, and here's the thing. I'm not even saying the free throws were unfair. Arkansas shot 25. They hit 22 of them. Mizzou shot 23. Only made 17. That's actually not the game. It's more of the time he got those fouls and who he drew those fouls on was very important. He got 4 on T.O., where T.O. basically sat most of the second half. And it wasn't like T.O. was having an amazing game early, but that's a really tough player to lose. You're then forcing Robinson, who has not had the best showing recently. And today, I wouldn't say it was a bright spot for him. I think Robinson struggled in a lot of aspects of the game, specifically offensively, and he went back into doing some real dumb defensive fouls. But it forced Robinson to play a lot of minutes, and you could really feel the flow of the offense struggle in the second half. I mean, we still scored 86. Like it's not like the guys just stopped playing, but it was very much a Mark Mitchell-led game. It was a lot of Mark Mitchell operating and then dishing, guys working off a lot of inside game, and still very successful in a lot of facets. It's just when it really came down to, can you get a stop to get back in the game? Couldn't do it. And when they did get a stop, that stop was often not followed by a made shot. So just a lack of clutch three-point shooting, a lack of stoppage ability. And that's why that first half felt so important, because Arkansas very much struggled in the first half. And there's a chance for Mizzou to really put their foot on the gas. Distinctly in my mind, 2 missed three-pointers by Cruz during that early run were decidedly painful. And then just letting Arkansas get right back into it and ahead by the end of the first half really signaled to me that this is going to be a tough game to win.
At one point, before I forget, did you notice the Mizzou fan jumping up and down behind the bench after Pierce got that gimme layup?
What? Oh, do you think that was for a?
Yeah, they closed 9.5.
I missed the final shot because my daughter turned the game off with 30 seconds left. And I went, that's okay. I'm not going to rush to turn the TV back on.
I just had to get that out of my system. But yes, I felt like I'm gonna guess your bright spot on this game was Pierce getting
Mhm.
20.
Yep.
Mitchell and Pierce.
Mitchell in his get right game. Pierce with 22. I thought Phillips played very well, and I think the
Yeah.
continued strong play from Burns were all really big bright spots.
Like at the end of I especially going down the stretch here, and our tournament chances, seem to be increasing by the minute.
Mhm.
Pierce and Phillips, I would say in some capacity are going to have to be scoring 40 plus points combo between them to hang with a tournament team like Arkansas. I only say that just because I don't know if Barrett is gonna if he'll notch in, um, if he'll get 10 points. I don't think Robinson, who knows if he's gonna get 10. Cruz, the way he's playing, probably not.
Cruz has been.
He's
It honestly feels like he's now at the stage where Gates will put him in, and if he doesn't hit one of his first two shots, is like he can't be out there anymore. Which he can't. He actually cannot. He
gets burned he's too slow.
He's too slow.
I'm not saying this coming from a fast guy, white guy by any stretch of the imagination, but he gets beat off the dribble. Literally, like I think I texted you guys. I think he was attacked 5 times in the first half, in like an 8-minute stretch, and I think I don't know who scored for them, but it was like 4 or 5, just layups. I think one was an and one, so they know they're gonna attack. And I texted you guys this too. When Stone and Cruz are out there together, you have statistically neutral defensive guys. They're not going to cost you. They're not going to cost you a ton of points, but they're also not going to prevent points. So that's one thing I noticed there, and I'll have to go back and look at that 5-minute stretch. But that was also the stretch where I felt like Barrett was trying to do too much, where he went kind of reverting back to his old ways of just dribbling the air out of the ball. He had that terrible 3-point attempt in the corner. Like he is a set him up. He's a set him up guy. I don't think he is a knock him down guy.
Any possession that ends with TO, taking a 3-pointer that didn't come from like he's set, he's standing, the ball gets to him and he shoots. Okay. Him dribbling for a while, there's nothing there, so he takes a 3-pointer. That is a successful possession for the opponent every single time. And he should know if there needs to be a last-second 3 taken, it shouldn't be him. He needs to get to somebody else. Like, let Jane Stone take the 3 with the hand in his face. Let Trent Pierce take the... Trent Pierce can get a 3 off against anybody at any time. So it's like, read the situation. That's not who you are. And I don't think he would claim to be a guy who should be taking pull-up 3s, but I agree. I think we're talking about like doing the whole sports psychology thing here. He's had a couple rough scoring games, and I think he was really forcing it this time, much to his detriment. But this really felt like the first half was an example of like how well this team can play. Again, it's about the stretches of not scoring, the stretches of defensive lapses, especially when you have to play maybe, as you said, a couple guys who aren't great defensively. After I made that comment last reaction where I said Jane Stone kind of feels like the guy who looks like he's doing a lot, but he's actually not on defense. Then you looked up about how he's like a massive net negative on defense. And then I was really noticing it. You also mentioned how he doesn't run back. He got beat twice on run backs, where he was the lead defensive run back and just got passed over the top.
Yeah, he's not a massive liability by any means, but he trends that he's not. He's just neutral. He's just out there. Like he doesn't go in and bang for a ton of rebound. He had 2 rebounds tonight and played a fraction of the time. Not a fraction, but played 12 minutes less and got 2 more rebounds than him.
I mean, if you just took this game half court to half court, Missouri was playing very well. Where this game comes down to is fast break points, 17 for Arkansas, 2 for Mizzou. Points off turnovers, 18 for Arkansas, 6 for Mizzou. Now, the points off turnovers and fast break points often are together. They're like the same points usually. That's what lost in the game. Mizzou lost by 8 points. And so much of it was you let Arkansas get easy baskets. If you play them straight up in the half court, Mizzou was coming out on top in that back and forth. So, and the coaches are saying that. Everyone knows Arkansas plays fast, but it was hard to stop them. And then the biggest issue when you're trying to catch up against a team like Arkansas, when they have a player like Darius Acuff, when it's like who can just get a basket, it's hard to stop him. He's a very good player. But you also had guys who stepped up for Arkansas. Statistically, it was the right move by Missouri to not guard Brazil or Richmond III on the 3-point line. If you were selling out defensively to stop an Acuff drive or interior drives, leaving those two guys open is the right gamble. Richmond went 2 of 3 from 3-pointer. Sucks, that happens. He's a 22% 3-point shooter. Brazil went 2 of 7. So actually that gamble paid off. But when you're having 3-point shooters shoot threes and there's long rebounds, Missouri got out-rebounded by 5. So I think the game plan was there, and this game made me feel pretty confident that Missouri can win the one again at home against Arkansas, the last game of the season. I think that is a very winnable, very attainable game. And when hearing about the chatter about the bubble, a lot of it was, can Missouri win 2 games in this final stretch? Like 2 games is kind of the basement. 3 would be sublime. And it also really depends. If the 2 wins are against Mississippi State and who's the other one that we hypothetically should win? Mississippi State.
Sorry, I just had it. Please.
Oh, I was sounding so learned.
Oklahoma, Mississippi State.
If those are the 2 wins, that doesn't look as good. But like, preferably one of those 2 wins is Tennessee or Arkansas. And so we technically did the correct. We technically went 1 of 1 this week, which is what you needed. Beat Vanderbilt, lost at Arkansas. Okay. Next week, Tennessee at home at Mississippi State. Once again, if we're talking about if you only could take one, I'd rather take them to Tennessee at home. Tennessee just beat Vanderbilt on the road. So that is one that you definitely want to get. If you can get Tennessee at home, that'd be amazing. I don't know yet how well Missouri matches up against Tennessee, but I watched the end of that Vanderbilt game, and they have a couple really good players. They also have an amazing freshman, so we'll see how that one plays out. But once again, if I was to point at the biggest issue with this team is that I think the biggest issue is, one, T.O. cannot have a bad game. Since Ant is basically, so we don't know what he's going to get. Barrett has to be very consistent, and not scoring per se, but being there to run the offense. He wasn't there, and that was a big issue. And his defensive presence is really important. But having him and Ant out together is a much better defensive option you have than him and Stone, which is the only other one because they're only playing those 3 in circular, or Cruz, I guess. But Pierce, God, what a great game from him. 3 of 7 from 3-point, 9 of 5 from field goal, 22 points, 3 rebounds. He used his size very well. I think he could have been even more aggressive, but he was hitting shots. I thought he was playing pretty well on defense. But for this team to be successful, he needs to play that way against all our major competition. Mitchell, amazing game. Just freaking bullying guys. Monster in the paint. He bullied Brazil. He bullied him. And like, he put him in a bag multiple possessions and basically single-handedly fouled him out. So shout out to Mitchell feasting on that one. Phillips actually had a really good game. I think the biggest issue for him is that he's kind of gangly. Hey, you know what Phillips didn't do? He didn't punch someone in the face on accident. That's a big one.
That's a win in my book.
And he played 28 minutes. Oh, that's a good point. Chatter. Cruz and Ant played 33 combined minutes and had 6 points. That's not great. Look, as a trade-off, here's Arkansas's point splits. 14, 20, 12, 4, 21, 16, 7. Like, that's great. Mizzou's 5, 22, 11, 10, 26, 5, 6, 1. And the 1 is Cruz and the 5 is Robinson, who played 25 minutes. Yeah. Justin Smith, exactly. Guard play just isn't there night to night. It's hard to win without a second distributor. It feels like it's been getting hard to get two of Stone, Tio, and A-Rob to play well. You're right. If you have that triplet, two of them have to have a good game. And what has worked for us in the games we've won is generally it is Stone and Tio having good games. Stone felt like he couldn't get free tonight. What do you think about Stone's performance tonight, Michael? Mike.
I mean, fine. Like the starting five, I didn't really have like a problem with, because like that first like 15 minutes of the game, give or take, like when we went up by what 8 or 10, you inevitably knew that they were going to get 10. It was just a matter of could we score 2, 4, 6 points or whatever to keep that, beyond 8 points or what have you. My biggest problem, Burns, I'm not going to really pick on him. He just hasn't. Yeah, and he just hasn't like consistently. He hasn't played a ton like consistently to like really, for me personally, to like nitpick his performance. I have no problem nitpicking Cruz. I'll do that till the cows come home.
Yeah,
my cows
we're
come
quite
home.
aware.
And Ant. But that's what fears me with having a condensed lineup, where I get that Northweather has no business being out there. But when you are only going to play 7 or 8 guys, those bench guys have to get you more than 12 points. Or else just statistically, the way it's been trending, we just go uber stagnant. And then the last 3, 5, 8 minutes of the game or whatever, we're like, all right, hey, we're down 8. We need to push it. And that just seems to be like, when we're in these types of game, that seems to be like the thread. This is something I noticed about Cruz, and not him in particular nitpicking, but is it me? But all his threes, he's coming off a curl where he is literally pivoting his whole body. And I get that that's his shot, but Stone, his threes, he's just coming up square to the basket usually. Like his form is already in line. And I'm not being a dick on Cruz, but I'm just genuinely saying, like, we know he can shoot the ball. Why is every time we want him to shoot the ball, it has to be a curl where he has to literally pivot his whole body to get square? And when he hits them, it looks great. I will give him his flowers on that. But
I think
I would just like to see like more of a set where it's like, hey, keep him in the corner and either TO drives, and this is where TO isn't much of a threat when he's going to the basket. Where Ant last year was that threat of he can pop and shoot, he's strong enough to go up, get the and one. I just like to see Cruz like take just set threes. Like,
to be fair, I kind of wish I tracked this, but I felt like there's 3 or 4 times where Cruz would do some sort of handoff action with Ant, and this was specifically when he had another run of it in the second half, and Ant was the guard, or maybe it was the first. I don't remember which one. Where Cruz then did a little like screen off move, and a lot of the times his man would stick with the point guard for a second. If you just get him the ball, that's an open 3. So I think there are actually more chances to give Cruz good shots, and they're missing him. And so instead, the only way he's getting that is by a really set play like the curl. And that is, you're right, that's a tough shot. It's an open shot, but it's a tough one because he has to do so much body turning. And I wouldn't say he is the most limber guy in the world. But I think
he's shown he can shoot that.
Yes, he can't hit it though.
Yeah.
That's I think a big thing is that was definitely a shot for Caleb Grill. I don't know if that is the best 3-point setup for Cruz. And so I'm agreeing with you. That's not to say he can't hit them, but like,
I just was noticing that. I think after his second attempt, it was like, why is he always coming off a curl?
I think on film, on film, there's gonna be a lot of points where they say Cruz actually made himself open there. I think right now they are so lasered focused on what is the biggest opening for them, which is often, can we get Mark, Trent, or Sean a good? And let me tell you, they're from the beginning of the year till now, the ability for them to play inside outside or what's it called, high low passes has been amazing. Like, we probably do more of those high low passes than any other team in the SEC. Probably one of the I bet more top of the entire league. So many times there's plays run for, by league I mean like college basketball stuff. There's so many plays run for if Trent has a guy shorter than him. A lot of plays was Ant screening with Mark just to give Mark his Ant's guy, because Arkansas was just straight up switching everything. Like, actually, like, another big positive I have is it's really obvious they know the offense and like the plays that work consistently, and they are running those. Like, a lot of times they are like they are marking to each other. Here's the play we're running. They look for mismatches. They play that right, and which is infuriating when they'll just have possessions they don't do that, and that's when things look really bad. But a lot of the times the passing is better than it's not. They are finding good. They abuse their size constantly. The thing is, that feels a lot better when you're ahead, worse when you're behind. And these like somewhat pinpoint passes have to hit consistently to be able to get back in the game. And I wasn't happy at the end of that game. But I think that also means that you're not looking for quick opportunities for Cruz. I mean, Stone basically had to force it a couple times the second half to get up shots, because Stone had only shot once in the first half, which is pretty crazy considering how important he is to the offense. And there's some guy pulling toilet paper out of his car, and my dogs aren't happy about that. Oh, he's got toilet paper and a sixer. Release
nice. Release the hounds. Let them just open the door.
And yeah, I think overall, yes, I think I agree with Chatter. Justin Smith again, a lot of good points. This guy, he says half-court offense looks so much better on average. It's just frustrating. We've completely lost our transition offense. I think that was the sacrifice. I think compared to last year's team was about we're gonna leak out and go, and they very much recognize that this team's strength is just taking their time on the. Which is funny. It's like the sweet spot of not waiting to the end of the shot clock, but just taking your time to set up your play. And since they put so much, and since they know their advantage is size, they put everyone to rebounding. Like, they will crash boards constantly, both offense and defense, because they're not trying to leak out and win. That's not how they're going to win. So it's not as aesthetically pleasing, because last year's team, when they went on a run, it was because they were constantly getting leak out, steals, things like that. Awesome. But I mean, credit to the staff. I mean, honestly, the staff went, this team plays best this way. I think it took them kind of the first half of the year to figure out how that works, to get good at it, and then also to get back the guys who were hurt or sick. Trent and Stone being the two primary. And then once they were in, it's been looking a lot better. And I think this team, one, it's a lot of pressure on T.O., but he's got to be better. And two, I'm at this point feel a lot better with Trent Burns playing those minutes than Luke Northweather. It really sucks that Porter had such a bad injury that we haven't been able to see if he could have grown this year, because it really felt like this was also an opportunity to Porter to grow throughout the year. But I think the specter that haunts this team, especially in games like this when T.O. had a rough game and got foul trouble, and he's like, the whiff on Sebastian Mack, at least for this year, boy, is that felt. Because when T.O.'s playing well, you don't think about it. But man, when T.O. is out and can't quite get it together, Stone is not a point guard. And I'm not saying Mac isn't a point guard either, but it's like there's no margin for error. Mac was supposed to be the guy in this sort of game who's going downhill getting fouls. He's not there. He's put on the bench, and for good reason, but it's like that whiff was tough. And I think the staff truly thought Mac was gonna have a real role on this team. So that's something where you have to overcome. And the margins are thin. This team has thin margins. When they look good, they look good. But it's very easy for this team to not look good. I mean, that's why you're a bubble team. at its core. This team is good enough to beat some of the best teams in the nation, and they're bad enough to lose against some of the worst teams in the conference. So that's just the night in, night out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
Is he gonna come in super loud again?
I just turned my microphone down to half volume in anticipation.
You'll clean shaven there, Curtis.
Yeah.
They make you shave once you cross state lines.
Yeah. No, I was hanging out near Paris Island yesterday. So if you come that close to the marine training site, you're legally obligated to have this facial hair. Anyway, for our audio listeners, I've got a fantastic mustache. That's what we're saying.
Curtis, any thoughts on the game?
I don't know what you guys have gotten to, but overall, nothing major. This is a totally fine loss. I thought the guys played well overall. Arkansas is a good team. Arkansas's offense felt like it was unstoppable at certain times. They made some crazy shots. We could have done a little bit better, but this will not hurt us whatsoever at all. That's the main point.
Curtis, can I give you the big stat, in my opinion?
Please.
Because these two stats go together. Points off turnovers, 6 for Missouri, 18 for Arkansas. Fast break points, 2 for Missouri, 17 for Arkansas. I feel like that's just kind of the game. Like,
I'm sorry, repeat that? Wait, no, I got it on the screen.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah. No, you know me. I love points off turnovers. Sorry. And yeah, that does seem like a very man. Yeah. I don't need to comment on it. The numbers speak for themselves.
We better see. Yeah, Curtis, turn down the gain or something. Jesus, you're whenever you're a little too loud, you're just coming in hot.
I gotcha. I'm gonna hold it here. Is this better?
Not better.
Hell yeah.
Jason Crow better get these A-cuff calls next year. I swear to God. It was. Okay, and here's the thing. Overall, the refs are fair. Equal free throws. Both teams had guys in foul trouble. I'm not even complaining about that. It's more of it was very obvious. Darius A-cuff was not allowed to get fouled. And he was not allowed to foul. Literally, they wouldn't call fouls. He's hand checking Ant constantly and T.O. constantly. They don't care. It was.
Does Dennis Gates need to wear a flashier suit jacket? Is that the only difference?
Here's the thing. I should hear no one complain about Gates working. Gates is constantly working the officials. It's more of when someone's a star, they get treated differently. When someone's a star, they get treated differently. It is what it is.
But Cal does affect all of his players get calls because he's Cal sometimes. He's a star as a coach. He's a coach star. Sorry, Mike, I don't have headphones on, so I didn't hear you talking at first. Go on.
I don't remember. Did you say something about you joining the Marines on Monday? I don't know.
That was a while ago.
No. Oh, home cooking. They're going to get some home cooking calls. Also, whoever is the tailor for Calipari, his dinner jackets are always on point.
No, he's well dressed.
It's got to be the same guy who does Nate Oates, right?
Whoever it is, like you can just tell the way the fabric's cut, the pattern always ends down by the cuff.
No, it's very well done.
I don't.
And you can't fault Cal for being
No,
like, he's well dressed.
Also, Gates is always well dressed.
He wears the same thing.
Well, I loved watching two just well dressed gentlemen.
Suited coaches.
Just duking it out.
Here's
also,
the thing. Sorry, Mike. Oh.
One more bit. I love Arkansas's slobber and hog at center court. That retro logo is amazing. The slobber and hog.
A few things I'm confused on. One, why does Arkansas have like the worst TV cameras ever? It looks grainy in there. What? Two, Cruz somehow it's so annoying when you guys get rebounds that the Arkansas player kind of punched him in the back of the head. The funniest part is as they're exiting and Gates has like the Missouri team going out a different way. Whoever controls the Arkansas sound system started playing "Why Can't We Be Friends?" That was a funny troll. That was good. I think that if we're looking big picture down the road. Oh, sorry. Before I go big picture, third, I agree that basketball coaches should do suits. You are inside in an air-conditioned environment. I'm all for basketball coaches being well dressed. Do you think football coaches should go back to being in the suit, considering it's an outdoor sport?
Yes.
Mike,
Mike's muted, but he's going around. So I'm going to jump in and say yes.
Fucking thing.
Jack Del Rio, Jacksonville Jaguars, baby.
I don't think like. I mean, imagine playing in Tuscaloosa and it's September 20th and it's 95 degrees with 85.
Bear Bryant did it.
I mean, God love their dry cleaners back then because they're probably millionaires. That heavy linen and wool and all that been
I'm just saying,
brutal.
if I was a coach, I would differentiate myself by wearing a suit as the football coach out there. Just like Bear, I'd be sharp. There's light fitting. There's suits that give for the
Yeah,
heat.
I have linen suits. Like they do breathe, but you can't like once you sweat in them though, you're constantly going to the dry cleaner.
In Oxford in September, and you're telling me like it's gonna make a difference? Like no, it's not. It's not real. Here's a question: is a basketball coach allowed to wear a uniform?
Like a baseball coach?
That's what I want to see.
Because a manager. Okay, I think baseball is one of the most ridiculous sports in the world. Just
it looks weird. It's a
slow sport. It's boring to watch. They're called managers.
It's not a locker room, it's a clubhouse.
What would be, well, I have to say they how they can go and just like chill in a clubhouse is pretty sweet during a game, but because basketball has the worst seating arrangement for their players, they have to sit on these tight ass benches. But what would be the sport to be the funniest that the coach had to wear the uniform? Because I think basketball is definitely up there. If they had to wear the uniform like the players, it's pretty good. Football, they'd have to wear the pads, which would probably be a little bit cumbersome. Soccer, I think would also be funny. Hockey coaches still wear suits. You have to give it to hockey coaches.
No, they're always
hockey coaches all wear suits. Yeah.
Is that required by the NHL, or is that just a thing they all do?
I think it's just their thing.
Right.
I mean, all the players wear suits before the games. Like, I think it's just a cultural, or just a shtick that they do. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think basketball and soccer both would have been very funny back when they wore short shorts. You know, I think that's the era where I would have really, really enjoyed seeing that. Also, back to your earlier question about those are Walmart security cameras that they use in Bud Arena, just for the record.
Because they had the Vanderbilt, and then all of a sudden they go to Bud Walton, and it's like, did we go 20 years in the past? What is this?
That's how I feel every time I walk into a Walmart.
Yeah. Also, Brazil will get his random hard screen on Ant. It's like, wow, Brazil tries to get one a game every time he plays against Mizzou. He tries to get one. But big picture, what, Mike?
Is it bad that I don't even remember Brazil on our team?
I mean, it's been 4 years now. It's been 4 years because I think he did have a year off because he tore his ACL. So it has been 4 years.
So he's like 27 now.
Yeah. What I remember about him, I remember being like, he is the only player with potential on this Conzo Martin team, and I desperately hope we can keep him. And then he transferred. It was one of the things that by the end of the season he was playing well. Something I texted our good pal Ian and some other guys. I said, it feels really good when you can watch guys who've been in the program for a few years really start to improve. Watching Trent Burns improve over literally just these last 4 games when he looked like a weak baby gazelle in the beginning of the season is a great thing to see. T.O. getting better is a great thing to see. Mark on his second year looks amazing. Like, it's just cool to see guys improve. It's cool they stick at the program and you see that happen. I think we were talking about this against Vanderbilt. The outline of what Trent Burns can do next year is definitely there. He's playing more minutes. He played confident today. He scored multiple times. He got fouled, hit a free throw. His rebounding can still be better. I think a lot of rebounding is feel of the game. You see the ball go up. You can kind of guess where the ball's going. You get good position. He hasn't had that yet, but his defense has gotten a lot better, and he's actually usable on offense. He's catching the ball and doing things with it. My biggest thing, he doesn't feel the need to do the little dribble that Phillips does. He just like turns and does stuff with the ball. So big ups to Trent
I was watching
Burns.
with my mom earlier, and yeah, when Phillips got the ball down low, I was like, go up with it. And she looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, sorry, this is a big point. But no, his overall just like awareness for the game feels much, much, much improved.
Also agree with the chatter. I'm also excited about sophomore Nicholas Randall.
Yeah.
I think cooking. I think he has a lot of potential for a good switch everything defensive player. Based on what? He's had some good games. Here's the thing. He had a good freshman minutes earlier in the season, and now he's had a rough spot. But like, I think the thing you can see from him, I think offensively he is nothing at all, and he will need to work on that a lot over the summer. But I think defensively, there are defensive possessions where I watched him switch between guard, forward, center. And he guarded them all. And he has fast enough feet. He's a thick enough body. And I think he's the type of guy who is like your switchblade on defense. You kind of put him against who you need to put him against. And he's really highly energized. I think he has the potential to be a good passer. It's just he needs to get something offensively. But I think he's the type that can have a great college career. Just let him cook a little bit.
I'll accept all the defensive stuff you said. Yeah, that's fine. It's just he has not gotten many opportunities in conference.
No, he won't get. I don't think he won't get many more. He's not. I think
Burns is now, unless Burns comes out and just plays so badly that he's like, okay, I gotta put Randall in for 2 minutes just to give Phillips some air. Or like there's a weird game where like Phillips and Burns get a bunch of fouls. Yeah, I think Randall's a good cutter. Agreed. It just feels like Burns is the much better, especially the way we play. It's like Burns is a much better replacement for Phillips and how the guys are used to doing with Phillips than Randall is for Phillips.
One on the note of players panning out, looking forward to the future. I was just looking up Mac because we were talking about him, and article written when he said he was going to Mizzou, and now it makes me question what's going on with him. It's so it's quote, now an upperclassman, Mac will be looked on to take a major role for this team, Tigers, to replace part of the lost production, Bates and Grill. He took a step back as a sophomore, but his shooting numbers and efficiency did not relapse. If he can put it all together, he'll become a reliable SEC weapon.
We're gonna miss. But sometimes transfer guys, this happens to them. I'm curious if he's here the next season, because I feel like this could be something where he comes out as a senior and plays a lot better. You don't think he will?
I think who's? I guess the question would be who is playing over them, and something was seen during that for Mac hasn't played since January 27th, so there's probably many more minutes logged at Mizzou Arena for practice that Gates is seeing something that there's no way in hell you're going to go in over Stone. No chance in hell you're going to go in for, Ant, nor
and he's
Barrett.
not even getting like 4 minutes to steal some time. It is like we do not trust to put you out there without something, without there being legitimate damage being done.
It goes back to my points about how like these transfer guys, like there's now money and multiple other reasons to why they transfer. It's like, was he getting that treatment at UCLA last year when like they said, I went back, looked at his efficiency and his shooting was fine, but like his overall performance, and I'm guessing that is contributing, like him getting to the line, the type of player he is, he has to either score generic or he has to get assists. Like there's just no middle ground. You can't just be a point guard or a point guard hybrid.
And he was supposed to be a dog on defense too. That was another reason they brought him.
So it makes me wonder if like this was kind of known that, hey, this production did go down. His OBPR stayed the same. So we were like, okay, well, we'll give him a chance because we know when he's efficient, he's going to get that 9 points, 3 assists or whatever. But then when he wasn't getting that, whatever's going on behind closed doors is just, hey, there's no chance you're not going out
truthfully, I bet he was affordable. I mean, like a lot of it was, what's the guy willing to take? What's his potential output?
True.
All right, that's we're willing to take a bet on that, and it didn't work. Now it could work next year, but also I think what's unique about next year is you have a 1-year guy, a really good 1-year guy. And I think that kind of changes the calculus of how you build the team and the money we're going to spend. Because Tim Fuller came on after the recruiting class was done. And so I wonder if this is the season they're like, all right, we're finally going to drop big dollars on the absolute positions we need. Because you need to replace Mark, and you need another center besides Burns. Tony Bryant, while he is a McDonald's All-American, is not ready to take on Mark Mitchell role. He's going to play some minutes, but not that level. So you need people to replace that. And you're going to need to get some guards. So it's like, I think this is the year they're like, all right, we're kind of going to push our chips in the table and see what we can do with that level of class coming in.
Because it's what Phillips, Porter, Stone are leaving.
Phillips, Porter, Stone.
Yeah.
Ant is now hypothetically staying, but I could also see Ant transferring.
Yeah, I 100%
suck.
could too.
I
'Cause
would. I really wanted him to be a Tiger full time. So I
Yeah,
really hope he doesn't. I hope they figure something out. But like that just feels so much like I need to go get my mind right at a different school last year. I hope not.
Change of scenery.
Yeah, well, you seen the writing on the wall that like if you told me, I don't know everybody who's coming in or staying or all those variables, but if you told me over the offseason there's a very real possibility that it's going to be Barrett's offense. And
Well,
then Ant just doesn't strike me as the guy who's like, hey,
I'm gonna be a backup.
you're gonna be our 12-minute game guy, and if you can go off. But hey, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Would it be out of the realm of possibility that it's Barrett's offense, Ant stays, and then you have this weird flip that Ant plays up, Barrett regresses a little bit, and then it reverts to
opposite of this season, basically.
Yeah, I can 100% see it. Because Barrett's nowhere near putting up numbers to what Ant did last year. Like you want to talk about efficiency, like
He had 3 games, but now he's starting to come back to earth a little bit. Because I think the scouting reports out, teams are playing him better. I mean, Vandy put a forward on him, basically, like a much bigger body. They didn't have Tanner guard him, so it's obvious that the scouting report is he needs to drive, put a bigger body on him, and play him a little rougher. And yeah, I expected this. I didn't think T.O. was going to play at that level the entire rest of the year. I don't need him to score at that level. I just need him to keep distributing and running the offense at that level. And then also you have Rowe, who's redshirting right now, but he's gonna be the backup point guard next year. Jason Crow's gonna be your 2, and he's gonna get the ball a bunch, or your 3. Trent Pierce, senior year of Trent Pierce. Because I don't think Trent Pierce is gonna go to the draft or anything. I think you get senior Trent Pierce, and that's a good college player.
Yeah,
as a good college player.
Just for shits and giggles, Ant is going on Evan Mia's BPR. Ant ended last year at 8.3. Right now, what's his nuts? Porter or Barrett, fucking Porter. Barrett is 2.1.
Mm-hmm.
Like exponentially different, and he's doubled, just single-handedly double in offense, and then he's 4x his defensive performance. So if you told me that Ant stays and Ant kind of goes back to the median of between last year and this year, he's still statistically better than Barrett.
Yeah, so Chatter says hypothetically you have T.O., Crow, Bryant, Chronister, Randall, Burns, Rowe, and Ant. Pierce is in that, as well as technically Luke Northweather, who's only a junior, and Mac could also be in that.
Ugh. Aren't they filming out in Arizona?
Northweather's going to be there next year. Okay, you have that guy on your practice squad. Okay, I don't even think I think he's taking an academic scholarship. I don't think he's getting an NIL. Like the point being is, you're not going to kick that guy off the team because
no.
But
I just kick him off to save fuel. It's more weight on the plane. You kidding me? Seriously, why is Barrett and God fucking Barrett Porter? Why is Porter?
Get this thing sorted.
Why is Porter?
Boat junior year of Boat.
Yeah,
junior.
That's true.
Which usually you don't see a jump from sophomore junior. You see a freshman to sophomore, but like who knows? Maybe Boat finally figures it out. Like that's the point about college guys. Sometimes college guys just turn it around. They figure it out. Like
maybe we would have seen a jump from him. It's I don't know. Without
what sucks is that in that game he got hurt. He was starting to ball. He was starting to ball.
What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Then,
would he have been getting significant minutes here recently without the injury? And maybe then at the end of the season we'd be talking about that second year jump.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just getting delayed a year. I don't know. But I do think he comes back, but I had to ask the question.
Anyway, next week we have Tennessee on a Tuesday, so short turnaround for the Tigers. I mean, same for Tennessee. Tennessee is going to be on their second road game. They played at Vanderbilt today and won, and now they're going to be at Mizzou. 8 p.m. Tuesday, guys. Who's excited to stay up late? But we have a commenter who says Boat is gone. I don't think so. I think Boat and his family, by all accounts, Boat and his family love Gates. love him. So I unless the staff want him gone, I think he's still here. Anyway,
I think it's not going to be a hard sell to keep him.
You need guys
if they want him to stay, I think they will be able to keep him.
Yeah, but anyway, Tuesday 8:00 on that late SEC network slot. I think this is SEC network. Let's see. ESPN. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
ESPN 8?
The Ocho. But that's going to be, win against Tennessee, beat Mississippi State next week, and I think you have the tournament locked up. Get one more win, it's for sure. But like, I got nothing else. I'm just yamming at this point.
Yeah.
That's what we heard on Marshall, though. No.
We need 2 wins.
We heard, well, there was the rumor that of the guys who transferred, one immediately regretted the decision, asked to come back, and and they said, nope, you decided to leave. I think that was Marshall. Who really sucked who transferred? Allen. I really liked Marcus Allen. Shout out to him. He's battling cancer right now in Miami. But like, he got so much playing time, and I was like, this dude's gonna, and then he transferred. I was like, oh.
So Julian, the Tennessee game is on SEC Network.
SEC Network, woo! I hope we get that. I just hope we get Sonny again. Any other announcing duo grinds my gear so hard. Sunvolt's the only one who's like.
I'm gonna start one of these on time. Is it too much to ask?
Nope, 8:10. Sorry, 8:15 is the best we can do.
The 9 Eastern.
9:15 is the best we can do.
It's because they're like the 9 Eastern midweek game that starts late every time.
ESPN's like, every game's just 2 hours, bro. And it's like, get the hell out of here.
Never
ESPN.
goes over.
No.
Never. Ever.
Certainly not. And the game before it will never go over.
No.
We're definitely never going to have to delay tip-off for broadcast purposes. No. That's absurd.
Yeah.
Sorry, whatever. I don't want to rant. You guys know what I'm saying.
Overall, I like where the team is sitting. If we take the whole season as a whole, I like where the team is sitting. Get to the tournament, take your chance.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
This was not a bad day overall. I mean, I know it sucks. I would have loved to win, but it's not a bad. We can move on from this very easily.
I agree with Chatter. Marquise Work would be sick on this team.
Hyper efficient.
They would put out all the defensive players and then go Marquise. Go pop off King. But anyway,
knows his audience.
that is it from us at the Circle Up Podcast. We will see you Tuesday night through Curtis's bleary eyes, because he will be a tired boy. Get some sleep, Curtis. Go to bed.
Trying, buddy.
All right. See you guys.